Hello friends, thanks for tuning into this week's video. If you're new to the channel, my name's Jason and I work for a company called Blue Gurus, and I try to do a video just about every week to teach you something. And I usually try to fill one of three buckets: brain food, marketing, and tech tips. This week is going to be a marketing related topic, and it is what should you do? What are some tips for LinkedIn updates, for profile updates when you're changing jobs or updating a big update in your position or your role at the current company that you're working for. So let's move in to profile changes that you might want to make and how you want to go about doing it when you have a job change going on. This idea came up from a good friend of mine, Jeff. I'll put his picture up right now. When we were talking about a recent role change that he had, and he was asking, when do I update this stuff, and will it notify my network and all these kinds of things? So we had a good conversation about that, and I thought this would be a great video topic. So let's talk high level really quick, and I'll share my screen. I'll stop and share my screen right now so we can just kind of talk through it. So here we are on my LinkedIn profile, and the idea is if you scroll down, you're going to find, gosh, there's so many sections to scroll through, right? But if you scroll down, you're going to get past activity, and you're going to get to your experience section. And the idea here is you have a choice to make. If you're changing roles at your current company, it seems to me that you'd want to just update your current experience, and maybe in that area where you're talking about the work that you've done for that period of time at that company, you might have multiple sections and different roles. You could create a brand new experience entry here as well. So let's say that you were senior VP of whatever before, and now you're the president of a market or something like that. You could have two separate things that are associated with the same company. So that's a decision you need to make of whether you have one entry on your profile that spans many years and you have sections in there in the description of the time that you've been there, of the different roles that you've had, or you could have separate positions that you list. When you add a position, you simply click, by the way, to get to this screen, you click Me, View Profile, and now you're in this editing window for your profile. And you click this plus on experience, and you'll get this dialog. You can either add a position or add a career break. Most of the time you're going to be adding a position. So I click Add Position, and the first thing I wanted to point out is this very top thing that they have, Notify Network. Turn on to notify your network of key profile changes such as a new job and work anniversaries. Updates can take up to 2 hours. So you can toggle this thing on and off depending on if you want to update your network. One of the things to think about there is if you're going to be making a bunch of profile changes, let's say you're updating your professional headline and your photo and a bunch of different things, you might decide to turn off network updates to your whole network while you're doing those changes, and maybe save the job change for last, then turn on updates to your network and make the job change so it can notify your network, and they'll be able to come in and see all those updates on your profile based on that specific activity. So I'm trying to think if there's anything in here that's super important. There's probably, it's worth talking about. Make sure that you associate your LinkedIn profile with the company that you're going to start working for. And the way you do that, as you scroll down, there's your title for the thing, for the job you're going to have. And then here's your company name. So if I start typing Blue Gurus in, for example, you'll notice that in the drop-down list, a list of companies, company pages are what these are actually. These are company pages on LinkedIn. You want to associate your LinkedIn profile with the correct company on LinkedIn. So I would, of course, click Blue Gurus if I have a new role or job at Blue Gurus. So make sure you do that. And the other thing to talk about really briefly is once you scroll down, there's a start date, the month and year that you started, and an end date, month and year. So one of the questions that I get all the time is, hey, I actually have 2 jobs I'm working right now, and I want this one of the jobs to be at the top. How do I make that happen? Well, the way LinkedIn does this is it displays your job experience in date descending order. So all you have to do is think through the math on the calendar to make whichever of those 2 jobs you want to be at the top be the most current open. I think you would change your start date to later than the other one is what you would have to do to make it show up at the top. So the latest, most recent start date should be the position that shows at the top. So those are a couple of quick tips about how to do a new position in there. One other tip that I wanted to show you really quickly, because I get this question all the time, instead of if you're going to do other updates on your profile and you don't want to necessarily click plus and then do that little thing up here about notifying your network, people ask me, how do I find that setting for notifying my network when I'm doing profile changes? And what you do is you go back to the top. So I'm just going to go back here to the top. You go to Me, Settings and Privacy. When you're in the Settings and Privacy screen, you want to come down to this Visibility item on the left nav here. There's Account Preferences, Sign-in, Security, Visibility. You want to click Visibility, and then you want to scroll down until you get to this Visibility of your LinkedIn Activities section. And you can see right now, obviously, notify connections when you're in the news or share profile updates with your network or any of those kinds of things. You can toggle that right here. Sharing profile edits. Should we notify your network of key profile changes such as new job, education certificate, profile video, and work anniversaries, all those things. And you can toggle that thing on and off. So that's how you get to that section. So I think what you would want to do is think about how you want to handle, do you want to create a new position in your LinkedIn profile for the new role? If it's a new job, of course, you're going to create a new job and associate with a new company page and all the things. But if it's a new position, it's the question, do you want to create a new, true open position in LinkedIn, or do you want to just update the description of your current position and add a new section that says, my new role as of today is this, and what your job responsibilities will be, and that kind of thing. I hope you found this one helpful. If I didn't cover anything specific, or if there's another, if I glossed over something that you could use some clarification on, please leave a comment below and I'll do my best to get back to you with, oh, here's how you do that. And I really appreciate you watching and taking the time. I hope this was a helpful one. I'll see you next week.